Welcome back to the Blanger Podcast. This week's rendition. It was probably the biggest weekend in Blanger history, and that's saying a lot.
To say it was a big weekend is just such an understatement. Like,
It words can't describe the impact of this weekend on not only our futures, but also our presence in the rugby league world, which is probably bigger than that.
it honestly could have been the best weekend of my life.
It could be best day of my life, that Friday night.
Friday was probably the best day of my life. We were rubbing shoulders with a lot of the greats.
My shoulders were so sore after rubbing all day. I had
You know
zero
what?
knots after all that shoulder rubbing.
No knots. I gave him an ice. I was doing hot and cold.
Hot and cold, bit of sauna therapy. I think we elevated ourselves into the rugby league world that we all admire.
We'll get more into that as we get through the show. But look, it was an unbelievable weekend, and I'm actually just lost for words. Sometimes like you meet your heroes.
They tell you never meet your heroes.
They tell you no, but we met them, and I'm glad we did, because in terms of a circle of like influencers and people in social media, the rugby league space doesn't get much better.
My sister, she went on one of the all-time generational commenting runs, the Met Gala of Rugby League, which is a very astute name for it.
It was the Rugby League Met Gala. We were on the runway, Jed. We were on the red carpet.
I know, we were on those stairs and God, we were looking good.
Yeah, in the outfit of the night. I mean, I will put up a thing on the scrams what we were wearing.
The shirts were a hit.
The shirts were a hit. We got a lot of shirt comments. Those shirts are, just for a bit of context, those aren't coming out first.
They're a Magic Round exclusive, the creators only.
Yeah.
They'll be framed.
So those shirts will come out after the hats. So if you've been following for a while, the pink hats, the pink cord, they'll come out first.
They're not
then
far
the
away.
shirts.
They're not far away.
Yep.
One of my favourite things about Magic Round, going to the games is special. The magic of Magic Round is just as much on Caxton Street. Like, I got there Friday, I think around just after 2:30. Early bird gets the worm.
Mm-hmm.
Got there, and who do I run into straight away as soon as enter the top of the street? No one but famous Roosters fan Hainsey out of the taxi car.
Bang.
And then I'm like, I should run into the Caxton Street Brewing Company, see what's going on in there. Who's there? Kat and Guru. And that was awesome. Guru's one of the all-time stitch-ups. Hits the selfie prank. The selfie prank. It was actually a classic. And then you head down the street. Me and Tim had a quiet one before you arrived at the Caxton. And we ran into Hectic Fred from those famous TikToks. Ran into Peter Solstice. I don't want him going missing.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of my best grabs.
Yeah,
Walking down the street. People listening to this may not know who Peter Solstice is. Peter Solstice, he's the caller for 9 Sport. He calls the rugby league games, basically.
Yeah.
And he's walking down the street, minding his own business. Peter Solstice has a look around. What's going on? Has no idea what's cool. Peter. Hey, mate, how's it going? Grabbed a photo.
Bang.
Peter, one of the greats. And also, we went to the 3 o'clock meetup for the Supercoach Playbook.
Of course.
And we met into our friends Clem, Timmy, Spy.
Who are now, they're friends of the show.
Friends of the show.
They're our close and personals in the space.
We are. I think I saw Clem every single night. Shout out Spy. Tom
Spy.
Williams.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
And then obviously we had our 3:30 meetup at the Caxton.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming out. It was awesome.
Of course.
We just wanted to say that quickly. It was so
we couldn't
good.
get to everyone.
Yeah. We tried.
Bit of a shame.
We tried getting to everyone, but
It's just great seeing the fans, in their element. Like, that's why we do it.
yeah, it's why we do it, Jed.
Putting smiles on faces.
Smiles on faces.
Bums on seats.
Yeah, bums on seats, kissing babies and signing hats. And, we obviously don't have any merch to show for it yet, but it's on its way.
It's on its way.
Anyway, so then, we roll around to 4 o'clock.
We're finished with our meetup. We're absolutely exhausted because, had to show face.
Had to show face.
Everyone with those cheeky comments, inside jokes of the podcast.
Yeah.
We ran into Tom and Eddie.
Ran into Tom
of
and
Hello
Eddie.
Sport fame.
Yeah, look, they are obviously 2 blokes that we do look up to.
Yeah, but it's kind of looking up to the way, say, Tom Dearden looks up to Cameron Munster. Just like 2 sixes for Queensland who've made it to the elite level.
But,
we know our place, and we know that Cam Munster / Hello Sport are above us because of what they've done in that Origin arena. And we're playing great football. We're almost forcing a position switch and dropping Kalen Ponga. But we're not quite because
we're not quite there. No.
Kalen Ponga still has his X factor.
The whole night, just everything kept happening. It was just
astounding. It kept getting better and better. Especially when Guru sat with us. That was
G'day, boys. This seat taken. So there was someone sitting here.
Yeah. No,
just
but
check-
Guru, it's yours now.
Guru, it's yours now.
We're having our rounds of bourbons.
Yeah.
Front row for Hello Sport. You know,
There was bourbons everywhere.
we were going to have just a water, but Guru was like, nah, these bourbons put some hairs in your chest, kids.
And we were saying to Roo, mate, look, we don't know this dark liqueur. It hasn't made it this far north.
It doesn't go past the border.
It lingers in the Tweed, I think, Jed. But as soon as you get on the Bruce Highway,
It has the water into wine effect over the Tweed.
And look, we said, mate, look, I don't know what this stuff is, but we only drink Bundy up here.
I know. He said put some hairs in your chest. I didn't really feel it.
I'd say it's a bit of a weaker mix.
But thanks to Hello Sport, first bet of the weekend.
First bet of the weekend. Obviously, apart from Roo's huge Connor Watson bet, which we were all on.
And we may or may not have started the Guru chance.
Yeah, we actually. I'll put that up on the screen just quickly as well. If you can see, you can see Jed and I very clearly. You can see us here like we were. I mean, I'm next to the man. Jed is he's hurling the Guru.
It was a great play from the Guru. He's one of the great rugby league astute minds of our generation.
Oh, one of the all times. And then the big bet was just before the stream started. Tom and Eddie were saying, we'll get on something together. Because there was everyone in the room. And
it was like, Blanger boys, what do you reckon? Oh, maybe we go Herbie.
Maybe we go Herb. And they go, I don't know.
Like, I want to go New South Welshman. You're like, you're kidding yourself.
Kidding yourself, son. Anyway, the whole room hopped on Herbie Farm.
The Blanger boys' backs.
Yeah, correct. And
Can't remember when he crossed, but he crossed well.
No, he crossed in like the last five. And obviously, I have never watched so little rugby league.
Well, we were just in awe of Horro. He's one of the great professionals, Justin Horoscope.
Oh, he sure is, yeah.
True professional. Brought some real perspective to the game.
And he's a soft-spoken guy, but he's a lovely man. And
he had some wise words of wisdom for us after.
Yeah, he did. We actually had a small chat to him.
So we finished up at the live event. And we're like, we're going to go to Caxton. Line's going to be massive. We're going to, lose our role.
No.
Oh, then Guru. Nah, boys. There's no line at the Caxton when you go into the Hero Bar. It's like, come up to Hero Bar with us.
Yeah, he said, and I think his words were, stick on my hip.
Stick on my hip. Kind of very much like that Melbourne spine.
Yeah.
Up the middle. Just Cam Smith working with each other. Billy.
And look, like, the Roo is he's a famous guy in this space, but
He's a big figure in that space.
I've never seen a man part the seas just like Roo does.
He does.
He parted the sea, and we just went straight upstairs. Anyway,
upstairs.
we go up into the upper level of
Heroes Bar.
The Heroes Bar, and we're sitting up there, and
who's the first person we see?
Hammy from Sportsbet fame,
Sportsbet of Win, Draw, or Learn podcast, big
and
Tiger fan
of the Grubs 11.
Says, Blanger boys, come over here.
yeah. And Hammy, how are you, mate?
We stick out a firm handshake from the kid.
Firm handshake, and through those spectacles, may I say, Jed, great eye contact.
Great eye contact. One of the
great
greats.
eye contact. Anyway, we're sitting down there,
chatting to Hammy.
Anyway, who comes in next? Rando Stats guy.
Oh, great guy, Rando.
Great style of bloke, great fella. Like I've we had a great chat. He had a great chat to my girlfriend. Great style of a bloke, and the thing was, all night these blokes, they were just dropping wisdom on us the whole night.
Rando with some random stats.
Yeah, a couple random stats. The kid talks in stats.
He lives in stats.
It's
just numbers just going on and on.
Yeah, just on and on, just all stats. Like
you can see why he made it his name because he's a random stat guy.
You can see that he's there's cogs turning just 24/7.
24/7. 365.
365. And that was amazing. And then who do we see next?
Who do we see next? We ran into Klutzy from the Bloody Brilliant
Beers. Klutzy, we had a good chat. We talked Jeeps because Jed and I both, obviously Jed's still playing Colts there. I'm obviously out with the knee. But yeah, obviously he's got his gear on there.
Got my Jeep short on. I'm about to go to training.
We talked a bit of Jeeps.
Showed each other our Jeeps tattoos. I personally don't have a tattoo, but he showed me.
His. We won't say where he's got his tattoo, but it's
where you think it would be.
On Friday night, we completed the NRL
content creator
Infinity Gauntlet. Like Roo, Hello Sport they only get one stone. Supercoach Playbook guys, Rando, Roasty, And then Klutzy gets his
Bloody brilliant beer boys.
Bloody brilliant beer
Yeah.
boys. They get one as well. And then Hammy works himself in there somewhere.
Yeah, Hammy's in the sports bet one, so he kind of has.
Oh no, yeah,
He's the glove.
He's the glove. Hammy's he's a glove man.
Yeah.
But yeah, look.
You know, we forgot to mention the bloke in a bar. You get an honourable mention.
Thank you so much, everyone who we saw on the weekend. It was so cool.
But seriously, everyone who came to the meetup, I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys. We'll try and do something similar.
For Origin, maybe.
Come Origin, maybe.
But now we get into the rugby league.
Let's get right into the rugby league, Jed.
Stop messing around.
I think we'll talk in highlights.
Let's start with the Cowboys game.
Start with the Cowboys game. Look, my boys, I love them. I love them to bits. But fellas, you went astray on the weekend.
I think David Crisafulli said the Cows went well, but they got beat by one little man called Luke Metcalf. He had an absolute blinder.
Yeah, the meat calf.
Left him out of the super coach. That always hurts. 117. But he had an absolute rip snorter, that kid.
Yeah, he was a blind. He was throwing these ones up. I don't know who you were shushing, but
there was so many. Because who was he shushing? Because the entire crowd were Kiwis.
Cowboys, look, that's okay, boys. I forgive you. It was okay. But that was just it. It was just okay.
Yeah, they were trying to recreate last week because they just get in. They get in rugby league form, and when they hit rugby league form, there's nothing quite like them except maybe the Broncos, which is another level, but that's another thing.
And we'll get to that. But I think especially for the Cowboys, they always have it, and it happens every season, especially for the last 5 years. They always have a bit of a trajectory, and then when you think they're going to get up the top there, past that echelon, they always lose.
Yeah,
and then they go down a little bit, and they come back up stronger. So I think for them,
it's not linear.
It's not linear,
overloaded.
and rugby league this season has been far from linear, Jed. Like if anything, it's been the weirdest season I've ever seen.
It is very inconsistent. Very inconsistent.
Fletcher Sharp, hat-trick on his birthday. So much Peter Siddle about him. Fletcher Sharp,
knows how to
hat-trick.
find the try line, that kid.
Knows how to find. Not one, not two, but 3 times.
Runs one of the great arching runs I've ever seen. Like, the way he can kind of turn and accelerate at the same time. Not a step.
It's swan-like, Jed, I thought.
It's not a step. It's more just a swerve and an accelerate.
He's got a bit of like ballerina about him.
Yeah.
Not to say like he's a fruity guy. I'm just saying.
F1 car, the downforce and accelerate through the corners.
Yeah, you accelerate through and out of the corner.
It's out of the corner, you get faster.
You can kind of see when he's got his foot on the accelerator, I feel.
Yeah, one of the great arcs. And Ponga hit a bit of form. Good to see that heading into Origin.
Yeah, look, because there's been so much talk about, maybe Sol Cobb will play fullback for Origin. It's gonna be KP.
Well, the talk was Munster would play out of
come
position
back
and play fullback. But I showed to Guru. Guru said that maybe 5 years ago. He said
maybe 5 years ago.
But his hips are too tight these days. He can't accelerate like he used to.
Nah,
those fast twitch fibers aren't nearly as good.
He's looking healthy though, man.
He's almost better with a bit of fat in him. He's harder to hug. He's got that beer belly. And he has a bit more like rebounding in him.
Yeah.
They say he's probably at his best form after 5 the night before.
Oh yeah. He's got to have something in his system. But he's been good without something in his system.
Moving on to the Broncos.
Oh, jeepers.
Listen, I think in a way, it's the loss we needed to have.
Jed.
Because I think that once we beat the Bulldogs last week, we were just going to run over the rest of the competition, and I think we are from this week on. I think no one stands a chance against us. But the amount of nightmares I got from that try when he dummied it left and Tony and Dean sprinted. Was it?
Yep, and then
Dean
he's
sprinting the other side.
He's penetrated holes. He's in the hole punching business, Nathan.
Adam Reynolds did the exact same missed tackle as 2023 where he reached
slid
out.
Off him. Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. At least Jordan Ricky wasn't lazy on the inside this time as well. And same with Walsh, overcommitting.
Maybe if Jordan had dapped me up, he would have made that try-saving tackle.
I think we were just exposed to a future immortal masterclass. When you're up against a masterclass, you just got to accept it.
Got to accept it.
I think Sel Cobb loves a bit of contact, though, doesn't he?
God, he does.
He loves those return runs.
He's going so hard. He goes hard every game, but God, he's just such a big presence. He's got such force about him.
He's playing for a big contract.
Yeah,
he's trying to prove himself at fullback so he can get paid fullback money instead of centre wing money.
Yeah, no, I think, Jed, personally, I think Sel Cobb's future is at fullback.
He's developing a passing game slightly, but he can be a running fullback. It's just if you're a running fullback, you need to do some more work through the middle during the sets, not just the run back. It's like Dylan Edwards is, he's causing the most problem on the second tackle, third tackle after that run back. But there's obviously progress in this game, and I think Madge Maguire will bring it out of him.
Yeah. The old style of coaching.
I don't want to say it, but there were some people yelling, and it may have been myself, bring KV back on the weekend. Maybe Madge wasn't the answer. Maybe we just need a Broncos legend at the helm. This New South Wales energy of, sucking. Maybe that's what he brought to the club. But obviously I trust Madge. I think he's got it in him. But
yeah, this is no diss to you, Madge.
No diss to Madge.
No diss to Madge.
We'll have you on soon, by the way.
Yeah, gee, organised. Maybe not after that, after you've just totally dissed him.
Totally dissed him.
Because, Jed, I feel like we're in the realm now where, they might see it.
Yeah, well, everyone knows we've got nothing but love for Paddy Carrigan.
Oh, and Paddy's been there with us since the rebrand.
I think he played 80. Think he got through his work.
Did he?
Good on him.
Yeah.
Payne Haas, I swear that's the way. If you want to stop the Broncos, in the first 20 minutes, you just send 5 people to tackle Payne Haas every time he touches the ball, and that's how you stop him. You just send about half your team to tackle Payne Haas in the first 10 minutes, then Payne Haas hasn't run over you, and then all of a sudden you might win. Storm do it all the time against us, and Penrith learnt as well.
Oh, I mean, I think this maybe, Jed, is Penrith's it's their
return to form.
It's return to fall. They've had their fall from grace. I think it's them maybe returning to not. I wouldn't say returning to grace, but I feel
8, 9, 10 territories.
Yeah,
edge of the 8.
I think edge of the 8 for sure. Like, if you don't think that Penrith are going to play finals, I think you got your head in the sand. I think start of the season when they touched up the Sharks, we all thought, like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen again.
I just don't think you want to be coming across them come September. I think if you're like in the top 4 and you have to verse Penrith, who's just made it into the finals, you're in a bit of trouble. I'm
gonna call it now. This is a bit of a weird prediction. I reckon Penrith are gonna knock the Raiders out of the finals. No, I just want, and I'm gonna clip that because I reckon Penrith. And this is what's the date now, Jed?
It's the 6th of May at 5:10.
5:10 on the 6th of May. Penrith Panthers will knock out the Canberra Raiders. I just want to quickly talk about Cameron Munster's John Cena-esque attitude adjustment that he ripped on the weekend.
That was tough.
Oh my gosh. Just taking no prisoners. Like a few of these ones, Jed.
Well, I can't see you, Xavier.
Like, I feel like,
You can't see you.
He disappeared for the rest of the game.
He actually did. The Storm boys were in a bit of a dogfight. The Raiders just bring you down to that. And Munster doesn't mess with it.
He doesn't mess with it at all. And further to that game, I love seeing Ricky happy.
Oh, Ricky happy is one of the great things.
I love seeing Ricky happy.
He cares so much.
He cares so much, and he's such an angry, full-on bloke. And just to see him get a little bit of something, a little bit of reprieve, Jed.
And that's why he loves it, because he'd be so stressed through the week.
Oh.
Jamal told him this week he's leaving.
Yeah.
Jamal Fogarty. It's a business decision for businessmen. Doing business
business stuff.
Things, yeah.
Better for himself, better for his family, better for his nation, better for his state.
Wants the 30th security in rugby league. He's a 31-year-old man. Halfbacks play to their 40 these days.
Yeah, no, if that hot cold stuff, Jed, like that recovery, that sauna stuff.
It's generational. That Tom Brady method, the TB12 method.
TB12 method, you can hide yourself at 6 these days, 6 and 7.
6 and 7, yeah. Except for Adam Reynolds on the weekend, diving out.
Yeah.
Still traumatised.
Jeepers.
That hurt to watch.
That hurt to watch as well. I mean, I'm not even a Bronx man, but I felt for you, Jed. I wasn't at the game, but I feel like we have a kind of connected presence where whenever you're sad, I'm sad.
Yeah, it was. It actually was. I was rocked by it because I wasn't on commentary, obviously, because I'm at the game. But as soon as I saw it's like 2023 grand final, I had to put the hat over the eyes. Emma's just replying to the text. She just found out she got mentioned. She said, "I can't believe Tom and Eddie think I'm dribbly."
Yeah, well, they sure do, Emma. I mean, there was no name drop, but Tom and Eddie, we know you were looking through our comments, you weirdos.
Yeah, you have to click on those comments to see it. I checked.
Yeah, no, fellas,
but it was a good comment, to be fair.
It was a funny
no
comment.
follow back, but we'll get there. I do have to ask, how much time do you reckon you did spend on the Caxton over the weekend?
Oh, what's our TIC count?
Because I went 2:30. I reckon I put 2:30 to 2:30 just about on the first day.
Mm.
And I went, I reckon, 12 till 2. And then I reckon last day, I only lasted 2 till 8.
Yeah, look.
Last day, it is so hard to back up.
It's so hard. And you see, like, Rue went home. But
he was telling us, he said, I'm going to go home because I can't last 3 days of Magic. Well, 4 including the women's game.
4 including the women's game. Look, Jed, I was similar to you. Obviously, I got there at 4 o'clock on the Friday. Missed our meetup time by half an hour. Obviously, everyone was still there. It was kind of probably the best time to get there.
It's kind of like an encore sort of vibe.
Yeah. So it was probably 4 till 2:30 for me on the Friday. Saturday, we started at because, we were talking about Caxton as a suburb.
Yeah.
So we started in Caxton suburb
Shout out Lord Alfred.
at the LA.
Actually in a right little setup there.
In a really nice little setup at probably about 12 o'clock.
Your team you Caxton.
Yeah. Well, I actually disagree. I think they got a really good thing going over there that's completely their own. The car park does give you a little bit Caxton though. Like, come on.
That's what I'm talking about. The car park, the fact that the team of the Dolphins, not the Broncos.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's a bit,
Yeah.
And instead of Sports Bet as their sponsor, they got Tab. It's a bit edge. Yeah,
bit edge.
Anyway. I still love the Dolphins. I still love Lord Alfred.
I love
There's
Queensland.
no Broncos
Yeah.
Caxton. I am thinking, Xavier, maybe we need to get our funds up, and then with that we buy the pub, and we put our pub next to the new stadium, and we call it the Blanger.
Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking as well. I think maybe we could get a function room in the new stadium.
Oh, a function room.
Maybe a hill.
Because I don't want to be next. I don't want to be like the stadium. Like, I want it to be more kind of Caxton of Blanger.
I'm saying we have a pub, but we also have a function room because it's important to have something in the stadium. I feel.
We have our tickets. We have someone to move to.
Yeah, correct.
But I definitely want a pub. I want 3 levels. I want
3 levels.
Bottom level, basement, wine cellar, nice restaurant vibes.
Yeah,
and then middle level. That's just your traditional pub. And top levels,
your central bar.
Top levels where you're hosting your 21st.
First, and you have your content creator.
And then we have a lovely beer garden that just goes out into Victoria Park.
It'll be beautiful.
And then we have an underground tunnel between our wine cellar and our function room.
And then to both of our houses as well. So we just have like direct access.
So we can say we go there at 12 o'clock, then we go down, watch Gout win the 2032 Olympics. We come back, we go out. And we
watch studios maybe somewhere down there.
We watch follower of the show, Tommy Neal, win the 800.
Yeah, Tommy Neal, thanks for following.
Thanks for following.
Yeah.
And then maybe we duck through and then we see who else are we going to run into.
I mean, look, all the regulars will probably be there.
Lockie Kennedy maybe upset Gout on the 100, but Gout wins the 200.
Yeah.
Of Terrace fame.
Tommy Neal of Terrace fame. Thank you for the follow again, Tommy. Yeah,
we do appreciate it. I was one of up there with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, actually was up there with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Kind of like maybe here's the Tesseract.
He actually had the Tesseract, the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. It turns into Infinity Stone, but not quite there yet. Not the same importance.
Not quite there yet. No, but he's got so much blue about him, so much pool.
Yeah, that bleached hair.
Oh gosh,
Tommy Neal, what a man.
Good style of a bloke.
Great style of a bloke. We love Tommy Neal.
Tommy Neal.
In cricket, you get those little one single ear things, the little neck holder.
Yeah,
I would love that. To get Mick Innes and Kevy Walters on commentary with Dan Ganane.
Yeah, just at the game. Straight to the ear.
Because that's what I'm missing. Because I'm loving it, but I want to hear what Cooper Cronk is saying, one of the best rugby league minds.
I think what it is...
What SJ go, oots, you know? In the commentary box.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine you just sitting there with your thing. Go, Dozer! Go, Dozer!
It'd be like 5 seconds behind as well, though.
You get to enjoy it twice.
You do. And that's the great thing about it.
Because you're hearing yourself enjoy it, and then you hear the boys upstairs enjoy it. I think that's a great idea.
I think we need to bring that.
We can bring that ourselves.
We'll bring it ourselves. We'll call it the Blangeria.
Yeah, the Blangeria. I mean, one day maybe we're going to get a commentary job.
Maybe we fund the stadium.
I think we fund the stadium.
The pub.
I mean, yeah, no.
The Blanger Stadium.
You sell enough shirts, you sell enough hats.
We do that or we buy the Broncos. But we can't start on that because you want to buy the Cowboys.
I don't want to buy the Broncos. Why don't we buy Queensland?
But then we have to... It's a bit hard because
Politics.
China. Yeah, I reckon we just stadium it.
Stadium.
We'll let Suncorp... We don't want to touch Suncorp. It is what it is.
Is what it is.
Let's buy the new one.
Yeah, let's buy the new... Yeah, like the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like the Blanger Brisbane 2032 Olympics.
Yeah. Gee, imagine we sponsor the Olympics. That'd be dribbly if we sponsored the Olympics.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind calling it the Blanger Olympics.
Do you reckon that almost gives us the right for
Statue?
for some rings maybe on the arm?
What are you saying when we get some rings?
I want to get some rings maybe on the ribs.
On the ribs or into... Oh, I'm not a swimmer.
Middle of the back?
Middle of the back. Just like LeBron, chosen one, but just Olympic.
Yeah, like the Olympic rings. I want them right on the back.
I don't think it'd be inappropriate if we did that.
I mean, because we'd be like on the big stage.
We would be.
And I feel like, you know, if anything, we're doing more than those athletes.
Bit of a Roy and HG.
Roy and HG.
Yeah, a bit of a Roy and HG presence, but we actually fund the entire Olympics.
Yeah, fund the entire Olympics. And, you know...
That'd be exciting. Well, I'm excited for that.
Chris
Foley?
Yeah,
Let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, like the Blanger boys are interested to contribute financially.
Yeah, we are
to the Olympics.
Maybe a few hat sales.
Maybe a few hat sales. You know, we'll probably be selling Blanger cars by that point, 2032.
Yeah. Electric. Guru actually did say pre-sale. You got a pre-sale for your first merch drop.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean we were going to keep that under wraps.
We were going to keep that under wraps, but Guru's a bit of wisdom from the kid.
All right, guys. Well, we'll pull it up there. Jed's got Jeeps training.
I have got Jeeps training. Paddy Carrigan, reach out, please.
Yeah. Thanks, Paddy. We'll still tell you to keep reaching out. It'd be touching if you.
Great weekend.
Thank you everyone who was involved.
Thanks Rando, Clam, Spy,
all the bloke and bar.
Hello Sport for putting us on the stories.
On the stories.
Great exposure.
Thank you to Caxton, best pub in the world.
Shout out Caxton. Shout out Suncorp Stadium. Shout out Queensland.
Shout out Queensland.
Open 5 because we count the Storm, but it's all right.
Yeah. Shout out the Cowboys. Shout out.
Friends of the show.
Shout out for all the friends of the show. Shout out everyone who came down.
Shout out 84 Grand Slam Wallabies.
Hey, Jed, shout out you.
Shout out you, Xavier. Well done on a great weekend.
Hey, thanks, mate.
Well done.
Hey, we had a good crack. And look, we'll be there next year. And yeah, thanks everybody. Best weekend of my life. Best day of my life.
Best day of my life.
Best podcast we've ever filmed.
This one?
I'd say it's pretty good.
It's recast some special stuff.
Very special stuff. All right. Thanks, guys. Peace out.